What would y'all have done if someone's wife came to your job twice, not for a hello Barbara, this is Shirley conversation, but off the top, rah, 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 rah. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Corine, and I'm back with another video. And this time, no, it's not a vlog, but it is a sit down / story time video. Now on the channel, I can recall doing two of these. One of them was a story time when I told you guys how I took an edible. I got too high and I ended up calling the police on myself, which is a pretty funny story. It was a horrible experience for your girl, but it's pretty funny now that I lived through it and I'm able to tell my story. The second one is I talked to you guys about my experience in the Dominican Republic getting plastic surgery, which was a horrific experience. But if you have not seen both of those videos, either when you finish this video here, go back and watch them, or you can stop now, go watch them and come back and tune into this one. Now this video, I talked about it a couple of vlogs ago. So if you have not seen that vlog, I did something called Pink Table Talk. If you're not familiar with what Pink Table Talk is, it's something that I came up with way early on in my YouTube journey. And we sit around at a table, me and a few ladies. We discuss various topics and we go around the table, get everybody's opinion, and then you guys weigh in the comment section on if you agree, disagree, and why. So on that particular table talk, we were talking about if your mate is cheating on you, who do you approach? Most people in the comments said you approach your mate, which, you know, at this big age of 41, I do agree. You talk to your mate. But I did also say in my younger days, I did go about it the wrong way, where me and some various females with different relationships have had an exchange of words. That's just my truth, okay? Whether you think it was dumb or whatever, I'm just telling you my truth. Now, today, I'm going to tell you where that topic derived from. But before we jump into the little story time, we're going to address something that we talked about in the St. Lucia vlog. So in the St. Lucia vlog, while I was on the plane, I brought up a video that I saw of this lady who was 54 years old, but she was talking about she started her whole phase at the age of 52. Now, she says she's having the time of her life and she wouldn't change it for anything. Now, I asked you guys, like, when did you start your whole phase? Did you ever go through a whole phase? When do you think it's an age limit as when it comes to whole phases? And I also gave you my interpretation of what I think a whole phase is. I know answers will vary, but I stated that whole phase is not sleeping around with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's not what I consider a whole phase. I consider a whole phase a time in your life where you just living scot-free. You living for yourself. It's not a ring on your finger. You are a serial dater, meaning you go on dates freely. You're not committed to any one person. But that does not mean intercourse. That does not mean you have to sleep with them. Your whole phase is just you enjoying life, taking your time back from failed relationships from the past, where you devoted a lot of your time and they played on your top, played in your face, didn't take you seriously, whatever the case may have been. So now the whole phase is, like I said, is equivalent to a serial dater. You're you know, getting flued out, whether it's by this person or that person, this way or that way. You don't owe any explanation to anyone on what you're doing. And you're just living your life. So that's what my interpretation is of whole phase. If your interpretation was that mean you sleeping around, then that's not what I was referencing. But again, I still want to know y'all opinion. Have you ever gone through a whole phase? Usually whole phases come in the latter part of your life, because it's a phase that you go through once you've experienced things that you're not going to allow to happen in your life currently. It's like, okay, I've been there, done that. I wasted time when I was going through that area of my life, and I'm not going to allow it to interrupt my life again. So hope that cleared it up. But now we're going to jump into what the video is about, the story time. Now, again, the topic of that particular Pink Table Talk was, if your mate is cheating on you, who do you approach? Who do you have a conversation with? Who do you confront? Is it your mate or the other person? So, and I remember dates very vividly because I just couldn't believe this was happening to me at the age of 41. So all of y'all know that I teach a cardio dance fitness class. I've been teaching that class for 8 years. 8 years at the gym. And I've never had anything like this to happen to me. So on May 26th, we gonna call her Ann, okay? And now that I know her name, when on May 26th, I didn't know who this woman was, never seen her before in my life. She was a Jane Doe at that point. But Ann came up, and I'm teaching class, so music is loud. Now, mind you, when I'm teaching these classes, it's about 50, 60 people in the class. She came up, and she's behind my right shoulder. But I'm looking in the mirror because they're mirroring me. They're doing the moves with mirroring me. Yes, they're doing the moves with me doing it in the mirror. Ooh, I had a little trouble getting that out. So I'm looking in the mirror and I'm looking at her because first, like I said, I've been teaching this class for a very long time. I've never had this issue. And I just didn't know, I don't have beef at this age. So I didn't know what she wanted. I don't have beef at this age. I try not to, you know, create those type of problems in my life. At this age, if we don't agree, if we bumped heads, or you go your way, I go mine. We don't have to bicker. We don't have to argue. We don't have to fight about it. You go your way, I go mine. I respect you. If you're ever in my presence, most likely I'll try to stay clear of you, and I would appreciate if you did the same. But this particular lady, she's over my right shoulder, and I'm looking at her lips in the mirror, and she's mouthing the word bitch. Bitch. She said it a few times. Now, again, with me teaching this class for 8 years, I did not know if this is, bitch, I'm gonna whoop your ass, or if this is, bitch, that's my song. So she's doing a routine, because she never stopped dancing. She never stopped dancing. So in my head, I'm like, okay, what this lady want? And mind you, I have friends around me who's also curious as to what this lady want. So I was like, after class, I'm going to approach her and try to figure out what was going on. So lady goes back to the back of the room. She stayed in the class. So I'm like, okay, she's still here. But she was steady doing the dance routines. She steady exercising. So I'm like, okay, but when class was over, that was first on the agenda, but I looked back there, she was already gone. So I'm not sure if she left before the stretch, after stretch, whatever, but I looked back there and she was gone. So weeks went by, out of sight, out of mind. She didn't touch me. Like I said, I didn't know who she was, so, and I don't have beef. So I wasn't expecting nothing like this, again, to progress from this first situation. So on July 6th, which that's my, that's your internet niece's birthday, I go to class. And when I'm leaving class, I was trying to leave. It was about 11:20. I had an appointment at 12 o'clock. So our class is normally over at 11:30. I was trying to tip out of there early. So as I'm leaving class, I feel somebody pull my shirt. Okay. So when I turned around, I'm looking at the lady. The lady is asking me, and for the sake of privacy issues, and I don't want to be sued or whatever, because I don't even know how these people could know me if they're watching the video currently. I don't know, but just know I'm talking about you. But anyways, we gonna call him John Doe. Okay, so John Doe, she's mouthing. Now mind you, the class is still going. That's why I gave y'all time frames. I'm leaving at 11:20. Class is not over until 11:30. So there's loud music around me. I really can't hear, so I'm trying to read her lips. And at this point, I didn't realize that she was the lady from May 26th. So she's mouthing, "Do you know John Doe?" And I said, "Huh?" And she was like, "Do you know John Doe?" So I said, "Where would I know John Doe from?" She said, "From here, the gym." Now, again, I've been teaching at 8 years. I have never met anybody, tried to meet nobody. I come in there comfortable in my baseball cap. Y'all know how I usually like to be. And I go teach my class and I go home. Unless I'm working out on my own on an off day, then I go in the women's room. So I don't come in there to socialize with men or meet nobody. So I said, no, I don't. So after I answered that question, the light bulb ding, 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 went off in my head. I'm like, this is the lady from the other day. So I said, "You're the lady that came up to the front of the class that day and called me out my name." So she proceeds to say, "I didn't call you the B word. What I said was, if you keep screwing my husband B, I'ma whoop your A." Now, I'm, not saying the words because YouTube frowns up on that sometimes. So we want this video to make it so you guys can tune in. So I said, I'm like, okay. So I politely took about 5 steps behind me, gave my friend my purse, and because I don't want to say anything that's incriminating to myself, I walk back over and I'm basically telling her, we got a lot of space and opportunity. So whatever you think you finna do, let's go ahead and hash it out. Because again, I just told you I don't know this person. but this is not the one time that you came at me wrong. This is number two. And I'm big on respect. I'm big on, if I don't do anything disrespectful to you, I would appreciate if you wouldn't send it my way. First of all, you're very wrong about these statements that you're making. You're making inaccurate, false statements, but you're very adamant that whatever you've created in your head is true. So when she realized at this point I'm serious, she got real loud. I also want to stop and say that I'm glad that at this age, I think about consequences before I act. In my younger days, it used to go real different. I would just act and I face whatever consequence it is. But I do know that I got my mother, my children, and planes to board, so I can't be sending nobody holding cell. And I've been in a few holding cells and I don't like it. Okay? I don't like jail. It's not for me. They don't allow me to wear my beautiful headpieces. They don't allow me to, mix and match my highs and lows and all that kind of good stuff. So jail, I learned very early that jail is not for me. So she's talking loud now. And again, in this class, it's about 60 people too, I would say, that day. And so the teacher on the stage comes down. The whole class is now looking at us. And she's loud. And I'm just standing there at this point like, I just need you to hit me first. If you hit me first, and it's also cameras in this room, and again, this is my part-time job. If you hit me first, I'm at free will to defend myself. So I'm ready. So she's, hands flying every which way. And so now we have about 6 or 7 people in between us. I had turned to walk out or whatever, because I was going to go get the front desk. I'm like, okay, let me go get the front desk. I ain't got time to deal with this. And I had an appointment at 12 that I need to be at. So as I'm walking out, she's steady talking reckless. She's accusing me of driving up and down her street. So at this point, I'm saying stuff like, B, my car take premium gas. Like, why would I waste my gas driving up and down the street for a piece of dick? And then I said, ain't no way in hell me and you can attract or be attracted to the same type of niggas. Look at you, look at me. Make it make sense. So I'm just hitting below the belt, because now that mouth is running and you talking real reckless. So after all that happened, again, I'm facing her, but we got about 6 or 7 people between us, and I'm kind of laughing or whatever, smirking, but I'm getting real mad. I'm starting to see red, because at this point you won't shut up. You steady coming. She also yelled out, might I add. See, sometimes when I tell these stories, I get all flustered and I try to forget to say things, so then I have to backtrack. So she also said, you're in my husband's phone, or something like that. And I'm like, I can't possibly be in your husband's phone. What's my phone number? So I don't know if she was saying phone numbers or if she saw pictures. And the only way that you can get pictures of me is if you stole them off of my social media. So at that point, she swung at me. That's when I saw red. She didn't connect because there's so many people in between us. But I said, B, did you just swing at me? And I went for what I knew. Now, again, it's so many people between us. And I was looking at this lady like, if I connect with her, they gonna lock me up, because I was gonna go until I was done, until I was tired, and then when I regained my breath, I was gonna go again until they got her out my sight. So after all that, was able to go to the front desk, whatever. They escorted her out, and we really didn't get into a physical fight, because like I said, there was so many people between us, and she missed that space and opportunity that I told her we had to begin with. I just needed her to swing then. Swing and connect, and I'm going to wear your butt out. All right, so now that you know the story, you know how it coincides with that pink table talk topic. I feel like if you got to go to that extent, you coming to people's jobs, risking your life, because had that been a different setting, it could have ended very differently. Especially because concealed handgun licenses are where you don't even need no handgun license. But again, like I said, that could have went very differently. And so my next argument was with the front desk. At first, they didn't want to release her name, who she was, her identity, or nothing like that. So my thing was, okay, she knows who I am. She knows my government name. She knows my schedule. Apparently, she knows what kind of car I drive. But y'all don't want to tell me nothing about this woman. So if she's on a parking lot, she could potentially run me over. I don't know what she's capable of. Walk up, drive up on me. I do not know. And I was very upset with them. So y'all know, back in the day, I used to be Inspector Gadget, okay? And ain't nothing changed. So I got her name, and from her name, I was able to get all her social medias. I know who all her children is. I know where she works. I know where she used to work, previous employers. So I pretty much know, I know her ex-husband's name. I know all of that. Okay, so like I said, I used to be Inspector Gadget, and to protect myself, yes, I want to know who I'm dealing with, what I'm dealing with, and what's your issue. But I will say, to this day, I still don't know who her husband is. I still don't have the name that I was given, no social media platform. I don't know who he is, which is still kind of scary, because if you're saying your husband has pictures of me in his phone, which she didn't really say pictures, I'm just assuming pictures, because I don't talk to your husband. I don't know their name, never heard of that name. Actually, the name you gave me, I don't know anybody with that name currently that I have any type of dealings with. Friend, family, nothing. But I would encourage content creators, influencers, be very careful, be very cautious. That's another thing that comes along with the platform, because I feel like the pictures that may be in the phone are either screenshots off my social media platform, or if you physically recorded me in a gym and I didn't know. So it's just a very scary situation. Like I said, had it been a different setting, had you caught me outside or whatever, it could have ended very terribly or whatever. A lot of times, you know, we wonder why we get put in these predicaments, because like I said, I would have never expected that to happen to me at the age of 41. Like, no. And my MO is not messing with married men. I don't pursue married men, and that's just not my thing. If that's your thing, hey, kudos, tip my hat to you. You do your thing. But I don't do that. I'm not saying I'm better than. I'm not saying you are the worst person if you choose to. All I'm saying is that's not my thing. So I was just very floored that it happened. I'm like, why me, Lord? And I was just praying that it didn't escalate after that. So since all this has transpired, she has been removed from the gym. If she comes back, it's criminal trespassing or whatnot. But this was just I don't know, a situation that I never, like I said, expected to happen to me at the age of 41. Now, knowing what happened to me, what would y'all have done? Do y'all feel like I handled that okay? Do y'all feel like I could have handled it differently? What would y'all have done if someone's wife came to your job twice, not for a hello Barbara, this is Shirley conversation, but off the top, rah, 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 rah. Like, how would y'all have handled that? Because she was very adamant with her accusations, and they were all false. And them accusations and how rowdy you was about it, could have got your ass drunk, okay? So how would y'all have handled that situation? Jump down in the comment section. Whew, I got a sigh of relief, because I got to tell my squad what I've been holding in. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a story time. I finally got it done. So I hope you guys weigh in and tell me, you know, how you would handle the situation. Or if you're weighing in on the topic about whole face, jump down in that comment section. All right, so your girl is about to go wash her face and prepare myself to get into a show that Drea talked to us about on the trip. It's called Desperate Lies. I think most of them have already started watching it. I'm late. I'm gonna start tonight, but I hope you enjoyed this little story time. And until next vlog, bye guys.